Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Morgan Ryman presiding.
Please be seated. Okay, we can bring out Mr. Bradley. Okay, any preliminary matters that we need to address before we bring the jury into the courtroom?
No.
Okay, then we can bring the jury in.
Yes, ma'am. Jury's present, all rise.
Please be seated. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Has anyone read or been exposed to reading newspaper headlines and or articles relating to this trial or its participants? Has anyone seen or heard television, radio, or internet comments about this trial? Have you read any news headlines or articles relating to this trial or its participants? Has anyone conducted or been exposed to any research regarding any matters concerning this case? And have you discussed this case among yourselves or with anyone else or allowed anyone to discuss it in your presence? Okay, thank you very much. Next witness on behalf of the state.
The state will call Dr. Kaiser.
Okay, sir, if you'll come forward, step up before the clerk to be sworn.
You can raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Okay, sir, please be seated in the witness chair. Once seated, if you'll scoot that chair forward, it does roll around. Some of the other chairs in other places do not, other courtrooms. And if you will talk into the microphone, it helps us hear your testimony. It also aids in recording your testimony. Okay, and Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, could you please state your name, spell your first and last name for the jury?
Okay, my name is Sajid Kaiser. The spelling of my first name is S-A-J-I-D. And the spelling of my last name is Kaiser, Q-A-I-S-E-R.
And Dr. Kaiser, how are you employed?
I'm the Chief Medical Examiner for Brevard County Medical Examiner Office located in Rockledge, Florida.
And what do you do there?
My main job is to investigate and find out the cause and manner of death in any unnatural and violent deaths.
And can you tell the jury your educational background and work history and training?
Okay. First of all, I'm a doctor with an MD degree, and I have full license to practice medicine in the states of Pennsylvania and Florida. After doing my medical schooling and 1 year of rotating internship, doing into different fields of medicine, cardiology, thoracic surgery, dermatology. Then I did my residency in the field of pathology, which is needed to become a medical examiner. So I spent 7 years in the field of pathology doing residency and fellowship, 2 years at the Royal University Hospital, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, through the University of Saskatchewan in Canada. After that, next 2 years, I did my residency at the State University Hospital, Brooklyn, New York. Then next year, the third year, I did my residency in surgical pathology from the same hospital, State University Hospital, Brooklyn, New York. Same year, I was the chief resident there. After that, I moved to Philadelphia through Medical College of Pennsylvania and Hahnemann University, that is collectively called as Allegheny University. And through the Medical Examiner Office, Philadelphia, I did my fellowship 2 years in the field of forensic pathology. And after that, I took my exams, the board exams, the American Board of Pathology in Anatomic Pathology, American Board of Pathology in Clinical Pathology, and American Board of Pathology in Forensic Pathology. Then I also passed the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Examination of Canada in their field of pathology. After that, I started working as an associate, few years in the Port Charlotte, Florida. After 2 years, I came to Brevard County in 2000, and then since then I had been working as an associate medical examiner. In 2006, I became the chief medical examiner.
Can you tell the jury what is the field of pathology, and in particular forensic pathology?
Okay. Pathology is a division of the medicine which deals with the tissue examination and the examination of the body, that is performing autopsy. Of course, looking first investigation of the case and then doing the autopsy to come to the clue as to find the cause and manner of death. And also there is division of the pathologists who look at the viscera or the body tissue in order to come to the diagnosis what the disease or what the lesion is within the body, which the surgeons give to the pathologists. Forensic pathology is the subdivision of pathology which specifically does the investigation into the cause and manner of death. Any case of the non-natural death or a violent death.
And doctor, could you tell the jury approximately, if you're able to, how many autopsies have you conducted in your career?
I have done several thousand since my residency, and then working since then. I have done several. I don't know exact number or figure, but several thousands.
And have you previously testified in courts as an expert in the field of forensic pathology?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell the jury approximately how many times and what courts have you testified in?
Same thing. I will tell that the during my time of residency and fellowship, I had started going to the court to be utilized as the expert in the field of forensic pathology, and since then it is continued during my fellowship in Philadelphia very many times, because the number of cases are higher than a lot more higher than here, and then in the Brevard County many times.
Now, doctor, on March 7th, 2012, did you conduct an autopsy on the body of Barbara?
Yes, I did.
And when you conduct an autopsy, can you give the jury general overview of what you do when you conduct an autopsy.
Okay, first of all, I was briefed about the case, that this thing happened through my own investigators, and after that, the preliminary information about the type of the case, circumstances, and then I went to the morgue area where we inspect and do examination of the body, the examination room, and then have the information from the law enforcement officers. After that, I myself, in front of the law enforcement officers, our own officers, opened the bag of the body and started the investigation or taking the examination steps.
And are there particular steps that you go through when you conduct an autopsy in a particular order?
Right. First thing is that, as I said, first thing is in front of everybody, especially the law enforcement officers. We cut the seal, photograph them. Then after opening the body bag, we take the photographs as what it is. If the lines or any kind of therapeutic intervention have been performed at the hospital. After that, we see the any kind of unnatural thing like wounds or lesion on the body which is supposed to be not, and then the details of that, write it down. Then we take the complete photograph of that too, and then we take the complete x-ray of the body. Then after that, before taking the x-ray, we take the important organs from the body, like the fingernail clipping, hair samples, in order to do if there will be need for the future examination for the DNA or any other identification things. After that, we do the complete x-ray. After complete x-ray, we wash the body to see the extent of the wound, how they look like if we remove the stain of the blood from the body, and then detail about the wounds, the exact size of the wound or approximate size of the wound, their location, and their association with other wounds. And then after that, we open the body and go systematically from different systems like head and neck area, chest area, abdominal area, and if we have to go into the periphery, like the limbs, we go into there. Doing the, that's called the internal examination or complete autopsy. And then we examine the extent of the wound which we have observed externally, going to the depth of the wound, how far the wound is, and if this is fatal or lethal, that's what we document. And also during that time, we take some samples from the body, which usually the liquid parts, blood, vitreous, urine, and bile. And then we come to the conclusion. Then keeping everything, we make the diagnosis at the cause and manner of death.
Can I make a first witness?
Yes, you may.
Dr. Kaiser, I'm going to show you what has been marked, first already admitted as Exhibit 44. With that, I want to show you what is marked for identification exhibits FR, FN, FU, FO, FL, FP, FQ, FK, FJ, FS, FM, FT.
FN, is it Mike?
Yes. FT, FV, FW, and FX. And I'd ask you to examine these pictures at this time without showing them to you.
Yeah, I have examined them.
Do you recognize those photographs?
Yes, I do.
And are those photographs that were taken by you during the autopsy of Barbara Pill?
That's correct.
And do those fairly and accurately depict the condition of the body of Barbara Pill when you conducted the autopsy on March 7th, 2012?
Yes, that's true.
And would those pictures fairly demonstrate to the jury and aid you in your explanation to the jury of the injuries that Barbara Pill suffered?
Yes, that's true.
And at this time, the state has moved those exhibits marked as into evidence as the next numbered state exhibits.
Response from the defense.
Over to our previous objection.
Okay, the previous objection has been addressed, and the court will enter the exhibits. If I could see those, because I'm going to put them in order. Okay, Madam Clerk, I'm going to give you these in just a moment. FJ will be received as States 150. FK will be received as States 151. FL will be received as States 152. FM will be received as States 153. FN will be received as States 154. FO will be received as 155. FP will be received as 156. FQ will be received as 157. FR will be received as 158. FS will be received as 159. FT will be received as 160. FU will be received as 161. FV will be received as 162. FW will be received as 163. And FX will be received as 164. And the top one is already received as States Exhibit 44.
have the witness step down.
Yes, you may.
Locate myself hard to see.
Yes, you may.
Guys, if you could step over here. First, show me what is remarked that to be submitted as Exhibit 44. Tell the jury, what is this picture?
This is we call it an ID photo, photo for the purpose of identification, which covers the photograph of the face and shoulder area. We have given this case number whenever a body comes to our office, we give a specific individual number. This is the year 2012, and the individual number, autopsy number is 186. And this shows the raccoon eyes or lesion is called periorbital ecchymosis, and some of the gunpowder is stippling on the upper half of the base and the forehead, and also the excavating gunshot wound to the top of the head.
Provide you with a pen. Can you talk about the prune eyes and the arrow in the eyes? What are you talking about? What does that
That indicates,
to you?
that indicates the intracranial within the head, the lesion. That means fracture of the bones, destruction of the bones, with that the escape of the blood from this area, that means that's right. You can see the hemorrhage here, hemorrhage here, hemorrhage here, and hemorrhage here. That signifies the lesion within the inside of the cranial cavity or head cavity, and that's on my exploration, it showed the fracture of the cap of the skull, base of the skull, to which deep blood accumulated.
And you also mentioned stippling. Can you point out to the jury, where is the stippling located?
Okay. These fine points, if you see, very homogeneous, same kind of rounded, these all over here. These are the gunpowder stippling.
What is stippling?
The stippling is when unpowder. The powder could be the primer or propellant. That is most of the time it's the propellant. That's the large in the amount. When it comes out of the barrel of the gun, they cause the real abrasion which cannot be wiped out even if you wash it. And they inflict the sting, and this signifies about the range of the gunshot.
And what does the stippling that's on the body of this pill tell you about the range for this wound?
It is a close range gunshot wound that is within 2 feet from the target to the on a very average gun, and then the target within 2 feet from the target to the muzzle end of the weapon.
And doctor, what is this area up here at the top of the skull area? You have another picture of that.
Right. This is the hack over here, and here it is missing. It's a large excavating gunshot wound on the top of the head, which on further exploration shows the loss of the scalp, the underlying skull bone, the cap of the skull is fractured into multiple fragments, and brain matter was exuding out, coming out of that, liquefied and traumatized brain, and further exploration inside revealed fragments of the bullet which consist of the jackets and also of the cover. And further exploration showed the fracture into multiple fragments of the base of the skull. There was hemorrhage and the outward manifestation of the fracture within the skull cavity.
Doctor, next want to show you exhibit number 158. What area is depicted in this exhibit?
This is the top of the head, and this is the large one on the top of the head, with the stippling in the forehead area, upper half of the face here, after this is shaped like the honeycombs can shape. That's what I did, and this shows the one on the top of the head.
Was this an entrance or an exit?
This is an entrance gunshot wound, and here is the base of the wound, and this was the bullet had a direction or traveled, and these are the features which makes to understand the direction of the wound. And this is the laceration with the big deficit of the scalp and then fracture of the underlying. You can see the fragments of the bones here, and the brain matter is this is exhibiting out. Several of the bone fragments were brought to the medical exam office for the scene.
And doctor, can you tell the jury, did you examine the path of the bullet for this wound?
Right.
Can you tell the jury what was the path?
The path was back to front, downward, and rightward.
And when you use these terms, can you explain to the jury the direction of the terms? Is that necessarily the path that the bullet came out of the firearm? Or what do you mean when you say these terms?
Yes, I have put in my autopsy description, when the body is examined in the anatomical position, we examine the body and keeping the head in the front. So that's called the anatomical examination of the body. So when we examine the body, when the face or head is in front of me, then the top part we consider as the 12 o'clock position and bottom one as the 6 o'clock position. So if you see here, this is the abrasion, deep abrasion, and this is the skin tags, and these are the lacerations. With these things, we determine the direction of the bullet.
And what was the depth of the wound and what was the damage that was done?
It was very wide, and as I said, the measurements I have mentioned in my autopsy report, but it was very big, and the whole calvaria or the cap of the skull was fractured into multiple fragments. So, and after that, the brain was lacerated and became macerated into multiple pieces or even liquefied. When we removed the brain matter, the base of the skull was examined, and that was also fractured into multiple parts. Here are the orbital plates under which our eyeballs are situated, and those were fractured, and that's what we are seeing. The eye used to keep those appears externally.
Doctor, how would you classify this wound as a lethal?
That's a fatal gunshot, and I call it fatal gunshot.
Doctor, next I want to show you Exhibit 163. tell the jury what is depicted in Exhibit 163.
When I explored the head cavity, went into the inside of the head cavity, the lacerated and fractured bones and the lacerated brain matter. Since from the inside, I recovered these clear particles. These are the particles of the jacket, and this is the coat. That's from the inside cavity of the traumatized head.
Doctor, I just want to show you Exhibit 154. Tell the jury what is depicted in this exhibit.
Several of the gunshot wounds you can appreciate from this photograph. There is an entrance gunshot wound in the left upper arm, and then there these are the other gunshot wounds which consist of, you will see in the next photograph. Those are the exit gunshot wounds on two of the gunshot wounds. There is an exit gunshot wound of this entrance, this gunshot wound, which has an entrance component, exit is on the other side. And this is the re-entrance gunshot wound gunshot wound to the left side of the chest, which could be considered as a re-entrance gunshot. Then there is a abrasion to the left side of the under breast area, which is related with one of the gunshots.
Doctor, I just want to show you what is Exhibit 161.
This is the clear isolated photograph of the entrance gunshot. The typical feature of a combination of circumferential marginal abrasion, round shape of the entrance gunshot wound, and that was the perforating gunshot wound to the left upper arm.
And what is it in particular when you examine it that you can tell an entrance versus either an exit or a re-entry?
Okay,
Then why?
right. The entrance wound has a larger caliber. The lumen of the wound will be larger, very regular, homogeneous, and also it has a component of the abrasion. Either it is confined to a local area or it is circumferential. That's what it shows. And also, if you see in the very marginal area, there is a reddening of the skin. That's happened. That's when that bullet passes there, and this because of the oxygen. That's called the entrance gunshot wound. The exit gunshot wound, the margins will be ragged, irregular, the shape is not very rounder or oval, and that has most of the time the gunshot wound, the exit gunshot wound will be shorter. And if the person survives, this means takes the healing time longer, and the exit gunshot wound usually faster.
Doctor, next one to show you is marked as Exhibit 155. depicted.
This is left side of the body. This is the left upper arm. This is called the ventral surface of the left upper arm. This is the forearm up to the elbow. From elbow up to the shoulder is the upper arm. This is what we are seeing here. This is the ventromedial surface of the left upper arm, which shows several of the lesions. One is the large excavating gunshot wound to the upper arm, connected with the axilla. There is a focal area of fine gunshot stippling or gunpowder stippling in here. And this is the exit gunshot wound of the entrance gunshot wound what we just examined before. And this has the features of an exit gunshot wound, and it also shows some of the abrasions of contusion while the bullet passes from the entrance area to this exit area.
When you say it has features of an exit wound, what are those features and why is the features different from an entrance wound?
Right. Since we have, it's not always it will have the typical feature, because depending on the site of the body, the exit and entrance will have typical features. Typically, that is what I have described before. And this is the irregular, the margins are irregular. On a larger view, you can appreciate more better. And this is along with that, there is abrasion in the side. So once the bullet was moving out, because of the wobbling effect of the bullet, this thing and then touching with some kind of clothing or something, these abrasions came up over here. And here there are two wounds. One is the gunshot wound. The other one is the therapeutic incision in order to put the chest tube, which was done at the hospital, this area. And this I see the suturing mark over here, both sides. That's how once the tube is inserted into the chest cavity, this is stabilized with application of these tubes. This is the gunshot wound, and this is the incision to the chest for the purpose of insertion of chest tube.
Now, doctor, when you did your internal examination of this wound, were you able to trace the path from the first entrance to this exit wound?
Right.
And then were you able to trace the path from this re-entrance wound through the body?
Yes. The gunshot wound was, as I have enumerated there, without knowing which gunshot wound came first or last. The gunshot wound on the left upper arm, entrance here, exit here. This is the ventrolateral surface of the left upper arm. The bullet goes through that, comes out through that, and while passing through that, it fractures the left humerus or the bone of the left upper arm. Comes out through that. This is the ventromedial surface of the left upper arm. So the direction of the bullet is left to right, downward and backward. This is more forward and the exit is more backward. So left to right, downward and backward.
And then once it re-entered this area of the body, what was the path?
Okay. This one we will, as of my training and my practice, we treat them, these ones as a separate one. But we mentioned that this one, the bone on the left upper arm, could be aligned with this to make a single gunshot. So once the bullet enters here, exits here, and then re-enters into the left lateral chest and moves backward. So this is again left to right, downward and backward, and it goes subcutaneously outside of the rib cage, and it lodges in the back under the skin from where we retrieve minimally deformed jacketed bullet.
Thank you. Tell the jury what damage or injury to the body was caused by this wound.
Okay, this was just the subcutaneous, so it did not go inside of the chest cavity. It ran along the underneath of the skin, along the rib cage, and then it retrieved from it.
And additionally, now we have this, what is this one here?
Okay, then we have the one gunshot, this is the exit component of the gunshot to the back, which you will see later. And as a result of this, when this one was happening, because of the proximity and then when the hand was in contact with this area of the breast, the bullet, because of the wobbling effect, that caused the damage to this area.
Next, I want to show you Dr. Exhibit 156. And Doctor, can you tell the jury what's depicted here?
Okay. Here we are showing the path of the wound. The bullet enters the left upper arm, exits the left upper arm. By doing that, it causes a fracture of the left femur, then enters the left chest cavity.
I also want to show you now Exhibit 152. And what is depicted here?
So here you can clearly see the large excavating gunshot into the upper portion, upper surface of the left upper arm, and here there is an area of the conjoined gunpowder, fine gunpowder. This represents a bullet lock escape bullet.
And is this the needle that was demonstrated in the previous exhibit, showing you the depiction of the entrance now in relation to the main entrance wound? And I also want to show you now Exhibit 157. What does this also do?
This is again showing after draining the wound how the bullet from the left upper arm enters and immediately on top of the left side of the chest. And this is the incision that we can see on the and here is the exit component of the gunshot wound.
Next, I want to show you Exhibit 151.
Okay, this is localized area fine gunpowder stone, which is mainly concentrated here, scattered in the paper. So this depicts the immediately gunshot and the bullet pass, but did not hit the surface of the outer
Doctor, why is it that you're seeing specifically here and on the facial area, but not on other areas.
And maybe movement of the body, how the movement of the weapon, anything is possible.
And does the clothing of the body affect?
Yes.
And tell the jury how the clothing would affect whether
If
it's
it is a short sleeve or whatever, full sleeve, it will be absorbed. And if this part is exposed, it is open.
In fact, I just want to show you what marked as exhibit 1.
This is the back of the deceased. This is the number here, specifically number 36. Over here, you can see some of the natural lesions as I have described. But this is the gunshot wound on the left side of the back. This is the gunshot. This is the entrance component of the gunshot wound to the back, where the bullet travels from the back and exits over here. It travels from here, goes through the axillary area, and exits out here, which I showed, the large excavating gunshot wound on the ventral medial surface of the left upper arm, and the large excavating gunshot wound is over here, that there is a deep abrasion to the undersurface of the left breast, which happened because the hand was in proximity with the torso.
So the path of this entrance room right here,
Right to left, this is from right to left, and upward and forward.
so it's back to front.
Right, back to front. Right. From back to front. And this is, and also, yes, upward and forward. And this is from right to left.
So the previous pictures I showed you were the area of the left arm and the left chest. Those wounds that you testified to that were observed that were not part of the arm,
That's true.
were they caused by this one?
That's true.
And can you tell the jury what, if any, damage this wound did to the body?
This caused the perforation to the skin subcutaneous tissue, and since it did not, the bullet did not fracture any hard structure like bone, as I have described in my report, it passes to the soft tissue. The bullet has lots of energy, and that's why what it was exiting out. And when the hand was in proximity with the torso, it has the bullet has more power to wobble. While it was wobbling, it caused the large excavating gunshot wound which we saw on the medial surface of the left upper arm, and then also caused the abrasion to the left breast.
Doctor, the next exhibit I want to show you is exhibit 159. What area is depicted in this exhibit?
Okay. This is the area from where we retrieved the bullet.
But first, let me focus on this one.
Okay. Okay. This is the left side of the back, and these are the devices we put in order to confine the wound to see better. And this is the number. 2 lesions are here. First, this is a gunshot wound to the left lateral back, which is the entrance component.
And is this a close-up view of the last wound we just showed to the jury?
That's true.
And again, what is it about this wound that you can tell that it's
Okay. Okay, this is the same thing. It has the abrasion component which is present locally, but this is instead of round, it has almost a rectangular or square shape. The explanation of that could be because of wearing the tight clothing, or maybe the metal component of the rod that was present on the deceased body. So this is the entrance point, and it has the abrasion component.
And what is depicted in the area top?
Okay. This is the area from where I retrieved the bullet. This is a procedure made by me in order to retrieve the bullet. That's the bullet movement. The bullet went from here, exited here, re-entered here, and the bullet was lodged into this area, and from where I retrieved the bullet.
Okay, the next one I show you is marked as Exhibit 164. Actually, let me show you what is Exhibit 160.
This is what I said before. This is the gun stocking is the back guns component, and this is the seal which I made, and here is the bullet. This bullet I retrieved from the back. This is in the surrounding abrasion which the employer was trying to skip out, but got caught in here. That's when the body surface got fractured with the overlying clothing. That's what the abrasion is. But this area which we palpated when we examined the body, and here I fed the bullet, I made an incision, took the photograph, and retrieved the bullet and handed over to the law enforcement CSI.
And just so the jury's putting on in perspective, the previous entrance would have showed there was a little portion of the back and it goes up. Is that this entrance wound right here?
That's what it
And again, this bullet wound came from the wound at the beginning of the arm and then re-entered into the
is.
chest.
And then not here, that's where we can see it.
The next one I'll show you is marked as Exhibit 164. Tell the jury what is depicted in this photograph.
Okay, this is the bullet we retrieved from the right side of the upper back. This is the machine bullet, which is as a result of the gun shot into the neck, base of the neck. The bullet went from here, ran within the under the skin, and was retrieved on the right side of the back. You see.
Next one I'll show you is Exhibit 162. What is depicted in this?
This is from the posterior lateral chest wall under the skin, just over here on the left side. That's That's what I retrieved the bullet when making a big incision. And that's the bullet which entered from here and then on the left side of the chest. And then the left leg, the chest wall, I retrieved the bullet.
The final exhibit will be exhibit 153. What is depicted here?
Okay, this is the gunshot wound entrance component that was at the base of the left side of the neck. The bullet travels under the skin and the bullet was retrieved from here. The path is left to right, downward and backward. This is relatively forward, the neck area is the bullet passes from here. And so this is the supplement. We just saw machine jacketed cigarette uniform bullet from this area. So this is the gun penetrating gun to the back of the neck from where the see and
So looking at this photograph, you have a bullet that was retrieved here. You have the mushroom that was here. And then you have the fragments that were retrieved from the skull. And doctor, can you tell the jury from this wound what damage was done to the body of this one?
okay, this ran under the skin, so it didn't go into the chest cavity, it didn't go into the cage, so it stayed outside. So it just made a hemorrhagic clot and then hemorrhage within the soft tissue under the skin.
So of all these wounds, doctor, there was one lethal wound.
One lethal wound, one fatal wound, and the rest of the wounds are of the children.
And which wound, fatal wound you testified to was impact to the head? What was the lethal wound?
The lethal wound was to the left upper arm, where the wound was cracked.
Thank you, doctor.
In summary, there were 5 gunshot wounds, 3 penetrating, 2 perforating, and out of those, as I said, one to the head was fatal, and one to the left upper arm.
Can you see that? Doctor, based on your examination of the body of Deputy Hill, were you able to come to a reasonable degree of medical certainty as to a cause and manner of death?
Yes.
Would you please tell the jury what was your opinion as to cause and manner of death?
The cause of death is the multiple gunshot wounds, and the manner of death is homicide.
Your Honor, I have one moment.
Yes, you may.
Your Honor, I have no further questions of the doctor at this time.
Okay, cross-examination by the defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Dr. Kaiser, you listed 5 gunshot wounds. Of those, 1 was produced by 1 gunshot. Would that be correct?
Produced by one.
1 shot that went through the arm, then into the chest.
Right.
5 gunshot wounds from 1 bullet, or 1 gunshot.
No, 5 separate gunshot wounds, in which 2 could be aligned into 1.
So, could be what?
So more likely it could be 4 gunshot wounds to the body.
All right. So, but from 4 shots producing 5 gunshot wounds.
Yes.
And you describe a number of wounds from just grossly from the back. One of them is to the head. And you describe that as being back to front.
Yes.
Right. And so back, let's just say for our discussion purposes here, back would be the 6 o'clock position, front would be the 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock position when body
Let
is.
me ask a question. All right. So are you saying that that shot would have been from, and what we're talking about is the relative position of the muzzle to the head. Okay. So if you say it's from back to front, You're saying the muzzle was at the 6 o'clock position when the shot was fired that produced the hit?
I don't know where the muzzle was, but this could signify that the body could have moved, and because of that, my examination of the dead person, whenever the body comes, and then we examine the body on the gurney in the medical examiner office when the face is facing me. And accordingly, that's why I have put in parentheses in the anatomical position. We examine the body in the anatomical position.
All right, so, but, for purposes of the discussion, again, using the face of the clock, you could pretty safely say that the back to front gunshot wound to the head didn't come from 12 o'clock position. It would have come from behind, which would have been closer to the 6
No,
o'clock.
not necessarily. The body could have moved.
We're talking about the muzzle relative to the head, not relative to the body.
Okay, yes, it could be. The bullet, touched the surface of the head at the 12 o'clock position.
Hold your hand where the range of motion from where the muzzle would have been, you could do so.
Okay.
Where the muzzle would have been located to do a back to front gunshot wound to the head. Where would the muzzle have been?
I'm not talking about the murder, but I'm talking about the bullets. Bullets movement is from the 12 o'clock position towards the 6 o'clock position.
6 to 12. We're talking about for what?
6 is here, 12 is here.
Are you reversing?
When I examine the body, face in front of me.
Okay, so the muzzle, the bullet, presuming that the bullet goes from a straight line to the muzzle, from the muzzle to where it hits the head. Okay, is that a presumption you would accept? Straight line from the muzzle to where it strikes the head.
That's true.
All right. And so if it's a back to front wound to the head, then the muzzle will be located back here somewhere. Not irrespective of where the body is.
No, not necessarily.
No. So where could that shot have been fired from to produce a back to front wound to the head?
That's what I'm saying. If the body has moved, I am examining just the body. I don't know if the body has moved. This is possible.
Okay. So you can't give an opinion about the relative positions of the shooter and Deputy Pill.
I don't know.
That wound or any wound.
Well, that's the explanation. If this is what I'm saying about the path of the wound from back to front, downward, and slightly rightward, then that's what it means.
Okay, some of the wounds appear to be from the front. Would that be correct?
From the front of
Anterior
the...
of the body.
I am examining, again I'm telling you,
All right.
I'm examining the body. I don't know where it came from.
Let's do it this way. Would it be fair to say that the best you can say is that the wounds and as far as the trajectories are concerned, that what you observed was possibly a body in motion, spinning, turning during the shooting episode? Would that be-
That's true, yes.
That's about as good as you can do.
Yeah.
I have no question. You did. Here's how I do. Doctor, let's just focus on are you saying to the degree of medical certainty that wound is back to front?
That's what the exam, yes.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
Okay. Did you observe the videotape in this case?
Yes, I did.
And at any time did you see the body turn away from the muzzle of the gun?
From the muzzle of the gun, the body turning. I just saw that there is the, movement of the body and the body is falling. But, yeah.
Okay, redirect on behalf of the state.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, sir, thank you for your testimony. Please step down. May I have a bench conference? Okay, this would be an appropriate time to take a break, so we are going to take a break for 15 minutes. It's 2:15, court will be in recess till 2:30. During this recess, you must continue to abide by the rules governing your service as a juror. All right, court will be in recess for 15 minutes.
All right.
Please be seated. Okay, we'll also be in recess for 15 minutes. Court will resume at 2:30. Mr. Brown, you know, I haven't seen this tape, so if you could put it back a little bit so I could see it. Not that it needs to be turned towards me. I mean, if you do it straight, I could position myself to see it, but just don't put it too far up here. Put it a little bit up here so I can see it as well. Okay, thank you.